Boomers are too busy clinging to the past. Millennials and Gen Z are having existential crises because the Wi-Fi dropped or someone was insensitive on Slack. Amidst this chaos, there is a silent generation watching everything with a refreshing cynicism, Generation X. Often called the forgotten generation or the latchkey kids, Americans born between 1965 and 1980 have become, by sheer accident, the most functional adults on the planet. They did not reach the top of Maslow's pyramid with a helping hand. They got there because they learned early on that no one was coming to rescue them. Stay with me. Let us understand why this neglect forged minds that today dominate autonomy and self-actualization, while the rest of the world begs for validation. For Maslow, the foundation of everything is security, but Gen X grew up in a world where security was a bad joke. They rode bikes without helmets until the sun went down, drank water from garden hoses, and the only GPS they had was their mother shouting from the window that it was time to come inside. Erich Fromm called this freedom from. They were free from the suffocating surveillance that we now call parenting. This freedom forced something that modern psychology has forgotten: practical competence. If your bike chain snapped 3 miles from home, you did not call an Uber. You figured it out. You either walked home or you fixed it. This creates what Maslow called the need for esteem based on real mastery, not participation trophies. Gen X knows they are capable because they proved it 1,000 times before they turned 18. But there is another reason they dominate the top of the pyramid. They are the analog-digital bridge. They watched the world shift from vinyl records to CDs and then to streaming. They were the first to fix the family VCR, and later the same people who built the very infrastructure of the internet. Carl Rogers spoke about openness to experience. Is while younger generations are slaves to the interface, Gen X understands how the gears actually turn. They possess a mental agility Maslow associated with the self-actualized, the ability to navigate between chaos and order without losing their minds. That whatever attitude that became their trademark in the 90s, that is actually a tool for emotional stability. Gen X uses cynicism as a shield against anxiety. They watched the Berlin Wall fall and the dot-com bubble burst. They learned to distrust institutions and shiny promises. This protects them from what Viktor Frankl called the existential vacuum. They do not expect a job or the government to give them a life purpose. They create their own meaning and their own personal projects. They do not seek the top of the pyramid to show off. They seek it for peace and silence. So, what is the lesson for you? The solution to leave the base of the pyramid and stop being an emotional dependent is to apply what Viktor Frankl called the will to meaning. First, stop expecting the world to be fair. Fairness is a construct. Reality is what you do with what you have. Be pragmatic. If something does not work, fix what you can or ignore it. Stop asking for permission to act. Second, cultivate your space of silence. Learn to disconnect from the addiction to digital validation. Self-actualization, according to Maslow, requires privacy and autonomy. You will never be free as long as you need 1,000 strangers to agree with your choice of breakfast. Generation X is the adult in the room today because they understood that the pyramid is not a social elevator, but a rope ladder swaying in the wind. And they have the calluses on their hands to prove they know how to climb. If this video helped you understand the human mind a little better, click the video appearing on your screen and keep going. The top of the pyramid is silent, but the view is liberating. Leave a like and subscribe to be notified about new videos. See you in the next video.